This evening I'm going to be making my Pretty in Peach Plumeria soap, and to start with I've already made some blocks of soap. So I've made two this size and two this size, and what I'm going to do is the smaller one and make these nice soap curls, and the other one is going to get grated. So let's make a start. Just do a few of these soapy curls to start with. Won't bore you by doing them all. It's quite a slow process. Unfortunately, I don't have the best peeler in the world. This is a peeler that I keep for soap. I keep all of my utensils separate. So obviously I've got my kitchen utensils and then I've got my soaping utensils. So it's not the best peeler in the world, but it does help me to make some nice little soapy curls. And these are going to go on the top of the soap. So I do 2 blocks worth of these. Generally make about 66 to 72 curls, depending on how thickly I cut them. Okay, so you don't need to watch me doing any more of these, get the general idea with that. So my soapy curls are all finished, and as you can see these are already coloured in that lovely peachy colour that the end soap is going to be. They've already been fragranced too, so already the smell in the room is wonderful. I'll put those to one side. Now we need to do some grating. I've got the other block just here, and my soap only grater, and I'm just going to grate it straight into the mould that we're going to use later. Okay, again, it's not something you need to watch me do the whole thing, so I'll be back when that's finished. Okay, there we go. All my gratings are done. You can see it comes quite a way up the mould. It's going to be the shredded decoration on the inside of the soap. So next thing we need to do, put that to one side. And there we go. This is a jug full of shea butter melt and pour base, so it's nice and creamy and white, and I'm just going to go and microwave that now a little bit at a time until it's just melted, and then we'll come back. So my white soap base is melted. I didn't want to get it too hot. Let's check the temperature. 131. Okay, we want to get it to below 130, otherwise when we pour it in on the already orange soap it'll melt it, and we want to have some nice distinction between the light coloured and the darker coloured soap. So I'll just stir it around for a few minutes, cool it off a little bit. In the meantime we can add some fragrance. Yep. Stir in. I'm also just going to add a little bit of colour. I don't want to add too much colour because I want there to be a nice contrast. So although this is called Selene Red, and it's actually a very, very bright red colour, when we add it to the soap it goes a peachy colour. Let's just add 1 scoop. Give it a stir. So while I'm stirring this to make sure everything is, all the fragrance and all the colour are mixed in well, it's also helping with the cooling, and we want it to be below 130 by the time we pour it into the soap. so I can catch any of those little bits of mica that are left. Don't want there to be too much in the way of any little bubbles. Let's have a go. Okay, I think I've caught most of them. Check the temperature again. 129. Okay, let's get in there. So if I just put that to one side for a moment. Now these soap shreds that we've already done, what we need to do is to add some just a spray of rubbing alcohol, because otherwise when you add one set of soap to the other, then they may not join very well, and you don't want your soap to separate when you're using it. So I'll give this a spray. Shake it around a little bit. Spray again. Okay, that should be fine. Let's give our soap just one more stir. I think we're ready to go. I want to reserve about 6 ounces to do the top later on. So all I need to do now is pour. See how we're doing. A little bit more. And that will reserve us our soap for later on. Doing the top. Just a quick spritz with alcohol to get rid of any bubbles on the top. Oh, a little bit of mess with this jug. Clear that up. Why is it these glass jugs have got spouts that really just don't pour very well? There we go. Let's clean this up. Okay, now I just need to leave this to set. I'll probably leave it about 10 minutes because I want this to set up on the top a little bit, because what I'm going to do is add the soapy curls up on the top there. See you in 10 minutes. So the top of my soap is now set up nice and firm, and I've melted some more of the soap base that we had left over from earlier. Melted it just enough so that it's melted, but not so that it's very, very hot. What we need to do, a quick spritz with alcohol, and then I'm going to pour all the remaining soap in. Another quick spritz, get rid of the bubbles. And then let's see, how deep is that? That should be fine. So I've got my soapy curls just here. Just going to lightly spray those too. And then let's see how we go popping these in. Well, that's looking fine. They don't seem to be melting, so that's very good news. Oops, there we go. So I have to work fairly quickly because this layer of soap on the top is only thin, and it therefore will set up or get a skin on it quite quickly. I'm going to work quickly to try and push all these in. It's about at this point where I always look and see how many I've got left, and I always get anxious that I'm going to end up with a bold bit in the middle that hasn't got enough soapy curls left. But so far it's never happened. About 66 to 70 is normally about the right number. So I've got a few left over, but I can't really fit those in because already it's set up and so I can't move anything back. So all there is to do now is add a little sprinkle. Everything looks better with a little sprinkle of glitter. And there we are. Soapy curls on the top. And all of the soapy shreds making it look nice on the inside. So we'll leave that for probably 4 or 5 hours just to make sure that it's nice and set, because it is very warm here today, and then we'll unmould it and see what it looks like when it's cut. So the soap's now set up nice and firm. Let's see how easy it is to get this one out of the mould. Just release the vacuum from the sides. There we go. Beautiful. So first I'm just going to cut these ends off because the mould is slightly rounded on the corners. So I'll cut these ends off and just make it square. And now we're good to cut into slices. So I've used a total of 42 ounces of soap to make the loaf. And I'm going to cut 10 slices, so each one will be 4 ounces or thereabouts, maybe a little just over. You can't see the colour very well, let me just turn the camera around to the other side and we'll see what happens. There we go, I think you get a better view, better colour that way. So these are really pretty. I do a lot of soaps, in this kind of design in the shop. And these are the best sellers. They're the ones I repeat time after time after time, constantly selling out. So there's this one that comes in a peach colour, which is the Plumeria. Then I do one in a bubblegum, which is pink. One in blue, which is Sea Fresh. A yellow one, which is coconut citrus sorbet. And any suggestions, gladly received. If there's any fragrances or something that you would like, or any designs that you would like to see in the shop, any products especially, please do ask. Always happy to try and accommodate anything that you would like to see. Last one. There we go. So these ones are melt and pour or glycerin soap, so these ones don't need to cure at all. So I'm going to wrap these straight away this evening, they'll be ready in the shop tomorrow. Thank you for watching.